Hello guys, welcome to Alpha Roms 22. Today we're going to talk about why is Africa behind. At Alpha Roms 22 we talk about social economic issues, any things that affect the social and economic factors of a country worldwide. Hit that subscribe button and you will get more. Let's begin. Number 1. Africa doesn't hold the power to utilize all the mineral resources that they have. First of all, Africa is the first country when it comes to minerals. They have everything you can think of, from gold to diamond, silver to platinum and copper and many more. But here is the problem. All the resources are given to the Western countries, and African countries, they lose in returns. How is it so? So the thing is, African countries, they mine the minerals, or they dig, they get the oil from the ground, and then they take it to Western countries while it's raw. When I say it's raw, I mean it's not processed. They take the gold from the ground, they clean the soil, they transport it to Europe or America, wherever the European or Western country that I can say that way, that they have a relationship. And then Africa is given certain percentages for that. And in the case of mining, usually it's the Western countries that are mining. It's Chinese companies that are mining there. They pay the employees. And African presidents, what do? They celebrate that a certain country opened a mine in its country. It's giving what? Employment. But how is Africa losing here? Africa is losing because they are taking gold and they are selling it that side, let's say for $1. And the company, when it arrives in Europe, they make a ring. When it comes, if you count the minerals that they were sold for $1 compared to the jewelry that the company made that is selling after they've processed the gold, it can mount to $10. And African people, you will see them going to jets, taking flights, celebrating that they're going to buy a ring or a chain or a necklace in Paris for very expensive prices. It's minerals that are from Africa. But our presidents, they are happy that we're given employment, not unemployment. That a company created employment, but if you look, they did create employment of 10 people to mine, but you could have opened a production firm to process the minerals and employ maybe 20 people, counting those who mine the product. On top of creating that more employment, we are also going to get more money when we sell this precious jewelry to Western countries. If African countries will do that, they will make a lot of money, but that's where they are lacking. What African leaders and business leaders have to do, they have to try and invest in Africa for making production firms here, processing companies that can take gold from being gold to a piece of jewelry, to a piece of ring that I can put on my wedding today, to a chain that a famous South African or Zimbabwean or Mozambican or Nigerian or Malawian musician can buy and shine on Instagram with, not to go and shine from abroad with products from here that went there at a cheaper price and they're coming at a very, very high price. And it's the same thing with oil. African countries are full of oil. They're even fighting. There are civil wars for oil. But the reason for that is not to make fuel. The reason is to import the raw oil to Western countries at a cheaper price. And after that, they will buy the same oil that they sold as fuel, now at a very, very high price. It's the same thing that they have to do. Western countries, they are milking African natural resources at cheaper prices and they sell them at double to triple prices, expensive prices. What African leaders have to invest in is to bring processing companies, make processing companies here at home, and we sell to the outsiders. Number two, the problem is our business investors, all in conjunction with the leaders of the countries. What leaders are focusing is they are focusing on foreign investments. Yes, foreign investment, they work, they do help the continent, they do bring unemployment, but if they could focus on making homegrown businesses, you will never an American president talking about foreign investment. They talk about empowering young kids to be businessmen, businesswomen, and that's what the African people have to do. Businesses, if you become a businessman or businesswoman and you now hold the status of becoming a millionaire, let go of the mindset to say, I have to go and invest in Paris, I have to go and invest in Switzerland. Yes, it's a good idea, but remember where you come from. You were once looking for a job at the same time. You have to go, open something small, hire your locals, create job for your locals, because when you do that, you are helping yourself create a big business. At the same time, you are creating employment for the young and you are empowering others. If I go to a company and I hear that it's an American company, it's hard for me to go and ask for the CEO and say, can you give me some inspiration, because this person has got an American background. It cannot compare to the African background. It cannot give me any sort of inspiration. It's hard. And African people, they have to know that when they invest at home, they are making it easy for the future children to invest at home too. It starts with them. We learn from them. But if they go abroad and invest away, we are also copying. The next generation is also copying. Generation after generation, they will always admire going abroad instead of going at their neighboring countries. It's time that African leaders have to notice that and change. This is my idea as Alpha Roms 22. I feel like African leaders have been fed the idea of that being given bread by Western countries is a good idea, but what they don't see is that they need to get the recipe to make bread so they can make it for themselves, because they are getting spoiled by giving small amounts instead of learning how to make an amount.